Tesla Daily's Rob Maurer released this video in August of 2020, and in this video today, we will find out if those predictions came true or were they completely off the mark. My name is Matt Hostess. I'm a serial millionaire entrepreneur and all-in Tesla investor, basically. Rob is someone I deeply respect. He is one of the best sources for Tesla news, but it's one thing to deliver news and it's another thing to make predictions that come true. So let's see how accurate were Rob's predictions.
The top 10 revenue companies in the world right now. So you'll notice that 9 out of 10 of these are actually in the oil and gas space or in the automotive space. So the segments that Tesla is playing in are extremely large markets, multi-trillion-dollar markets, which means that there's a lot of potential for both disruption because a lot of these companies are established legacy type of companies that maybe aren't as disruptive or innovative as they were in the past. In terms of their lead in autonomous vehicles, so this is a chart put together by Lex Friedman. This captures the number of miles that are driven by Teslas that are equipped with their autopilot hardware. So Tesla basically has the capability of harboring all the data from all of those miles driven. So in Tesla's case, right now, there are over 3 billion miles driven by these vehicles with this autopilot hardware.
Now, my personal prediction as a millionaire serial entrepreneur and investor for Tesla stock is that it will hit $10,000 per share by 2030 because of full self-driving. If you watch my channel, you will see many full self-driving videos, and it's clearly getting better. And Rob is just spot on about the data advantage that Tesla has.
Waymo is probably second place right now. They, for example, have 20 million miles collectively driven across all their vehicles. So Tesla's aspirations for how quickly they want to grow by 2030.
So Tesla was aiming to deliver 827,000 vehicles for 2021, not necessarily Rob's predictions, more Tesla's aspirations. But as we know, in 2021, Tesla actually delivered 936,000 vehicles. Everyone talks about Elon's time, but hey, sometimes he is ahead of schedule. Not always, but sometimes. And this is where it starts to get really interesting, and we will get into Rob's valuation for Tesla stock in just a moment. But before we go into that, Rob makes a prediction of Tesla's revenue. So let's see how he did with that.
It's another 12 billion. So in a couple of years, in 2022 or 2023, Tesla should be generating about $80 billion in revenue.
This prediction, I think, is going to come true easily. Even though we don't have all the numbers yet for 2022 for revenue, we know the first quarter was close to 20 billion. We know the second quarter is going to be worse, but the third and the fourth quarter, I'm sure will more than make up for it, and we will end up with revenue that's going to be higher than $80 billion. And Rob mentioned 2022 or 23, so he definitely did not miss the revenue figure here. If anything, he is probably underestimating the revenue.
What is, I think, the most probably underappreciated aspect of Tesla, and something that is not talked about nearly enough, and that is the operating leverage that they have generated over time. So here we can see just the quarterly results for Tesla since 2016, which would have been before the Model 3 started ramping up. That happened in mid-2017. And then I have the years down here as well. So we can see that in 2016, Tesla generated $7 billion in revenue, and their operating expenses that year were $2.3 billion. If we fast forward to last year, 2019, Tesla generated $25 billion in revenue, and their operating expenses were only $4.1 billion. So they were able to grow their revenue by 251%, and only increase their operating expenses by 83%.
Let's see how that leverage of operations is going on for Tesla. This is revenue from 2020, $31 billion, and 2021, $53 billion. So the revenue almost doubled, but not quite. And when we look at net income right here for 2020, almost $1 billion, and 2021, $5.6 billion. So while revenue almost doubled, not quite there, but almost, profits increased by 6.5 times. So Rob was spot on about that. And now it is time for the prediction of the market cap and therefore the stock price of Tesla. Let's see how Rob did.
So in terms of how that would actually be valued, if we look at Amazon, and we look at their price in 2017, Amazon had about $4 billion in operating profit that year, and they were valued at over $700 billion by the market. So Tesla today at $300 billion with a very, very clear path with very conservative assumptions for the next 2 years to generating the same amount of operating income that Amazon generated when Amazon was valued at a $700 billion market cap. So if Tesla does this, which again I believe is conservative, theoretically the market should value it similarly or even more highly than they valued Amazon, because the market for Tesla is bigger. As we talked about, energy and automotive are 9 in the top 10 revenue generating companies in the world. And Tesla's growth rate will actually be faster than Amazon. So theoretically, it should receive a higher multiple than what was applied to Amazon. Even just a couple of years in the future, if Tesla's able to pull this off, which I think again is conservative, then the valuation is definitely, it fits within the relative valuation of other high growth companies that we have seen in the past.
And today, 2022, July 3rd, almost 2 years after Rob published that video, Tesla stock now has a market cap of $706.6 billion to be exact. So Rob hit the nail right on the head so accurately there. Although the operating income that Tesla is experiencing is substantially higher, but Rob did say those predictions were quite conservative. So should you pay attention to what Rob says if you are a Tesla investor, or if, like me, you are basically an all-in Tesla investor? I think you should pay extremely close attention to everything that Rob says. Now, Rob did not really make very clear projections. They were more hints and, in a way, projections as well. But regardless of that, Rob from Tesla Daily not only delivers great news of Tesla stock, but also his predictions or hints at where Tesla stock could be turned out dead on, right on a nail. So Rob definitely has my stamp of approval. In fact, I believe in Tesla stock so much that that's the only stock that I own. I made a video explaining why would I do such a stupid thing. And as a serial millionaire entrepreneur and investor, I don't think it's stupid. I think it's risky to not own Tesla stock if you are looking for high returns with relatively low risk. And if you're looking for the one best single stock to own, I believe Tesla stock is the best single stock to own when adjusted for risk. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. So watch that video next. I will put it down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Another video you should watch that I made is proof that Tesla bought Optimus Prime is possible now. That's a good one. You should definitely watch that one. Thank you so much. My name is Matt Posius.